Right, folks, this really is the last time we're going to touch on it. There's no reason to after this, I wouldn't have thought. Greenwood. So, yes, he's definitely been binned today. We said earlier in the earlier message you may get canned today. That is what's happened. I don't think they made up their mind whether they terminate his contract yet and pay him off or loan him out. I would imagine they'd loan him out and try and get a fee at the end of this season because they still have a year to run. But I don't know. Look, it divides opinion, does this? I mean, look, I'm not for wife beaters, woman beaters. I'm not for any of that. I'm not for rapists. I'm not for any of that. I've already stated on there the reasons why I thought maybe they should have brought him back. Many of the people that have come onto the channel that have responded to today's earlier broadcast, and many are against him staying at United and think he should be gone. And maybe that is right. Maybe that is right. But as I said earlier, I've got probably 3 points. One of them is I did say earlier that any tape, no matter how bad it looks, be it in picture form or in word form, as in a recording, can be made to go the way you want it to go. If you want to coerce, and I'm not saying she's coerced anybody, but if you want somebody to look really bad and say really, really bad things and record them when they don't know that they've been recorded, if you're clever, you can do it. That's number one. Number two is, and I'm going down an alley we didn't go down before, I mean, some people treat others or each other in the bedroom very differently than they would do in real life. I mean, I'm biting off a bit much here, but, he's hit her, he's bruised her. He may well have done all of that. Has she hit him and bruised him? Is it sort of 6 of one after us the other? Is that a game they played? I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not, I don't know, and they shouldn't be doing it. But in that bedroom, people have different games and they have different ways of getting the entertainment or excitement, shall we say. What I will say is that the board has come out today, or Arnold's come out today, and he said, we're letting him go. We've got to terminate because of all the harm and damage it's done to the club. But what I will say is we have seen a lot of evidence that hasn't been in the public domain, and we've also talked to his partner. And I want to say that I feel that he's innocent of all the crimes that were levied against him. Well, that's all well and good. I mean, I think somebody said it might have been, is it Andy Goldstein might have said on Talksport earlier? Should he be saying that? He's not from a, what's the word? He's not from the police, from the court service. He's not, I can't think of the word. You'll know what I mean. He's not in a position to say that kind of thing. But all I will say is, if he's spoken to Greenwood's partner and Greenwood's partner says, no, he didn't do this or didn't do that or he's never done this or he wouldn't have done that, she might have told him things that we're not, well, she has told him things we're not privy to because Arnold has said that, but he's not told us what they are. And I'm guessing he's not telling us what they are because he's trying to protect her, which to me shows that she has been complicit in some of these things, but he's trying to protect her and we're never going to know what these things are. I think the way United should have done it was got rid of him for the year, sent him out on loan, said to the boy, look, you've let us down, you've let yourself down, you say you want to become a better person now and you say you are going to, and we've no doubt you're going to try to, but we must release some of the things that your partner has said to us, and we also want you to go in front of a TV camera, which was mentioned a week ago, and give your side of things, because it's always better in front of a camera than it is in a statement, especially when a statement's been produced by his management, which is what it will have been done. It will, so it doesn't come from the heart, it doesn't come from himself. He might not want it to do that, but I just said from a United perspective, this is what we want you to do. The way we're going to do it is, I'm going to speak out in front of a TV camera, that's Richard Arnold. You're also going to speak out. We're going to loan you for a year. After a year, we're going to decide whether we want to bring you back into the fold or sell you on. That's how I'd have liked it to have gone. It hasn't gone that way. I mean, they may just get rid of him, they might terminate his contract this week, but I doubt that. I think they'll try to get a fee. Maybe it depends on what takers come forward in the next week or so and what kind of money they've got behind them and whether they think they'll get a decent fee. If in the next week or so nobody comes forward and they can't get rid of the boy, and I doubt that happening, but if that happens, then they might just terminate. They might think, well, we're going to get nothing in a year's time, nobody wants him now. I think they'll go for the fee. But they could have kept all options open and reviewed it in a year's time. Maybe I'm wrong saying that, folks. That's just what I'm thinking. But I'm basing a lot of that on the fact that I've always thought from day one, has there been an element of coercion and honey trapping from his partner? And it sounds awful, that, and I know it does, I know it does. But with the things that Arnold has said today, you know, that he spoke to his partner and these other things that haven't come into the public domain, and as far as I'm concerned, based on all these things, we feel he isn't guilty of any of the charges that was against him. Well, that to me says he's said some things, that the kind of things that I'm probably thinking about, and he's not brought into the open forum. And that said, I think Sam and Jordan alluded to it. Well, if all the charges have been dropped, if he's not going to court, if he's not been proved guilty, and now if Richard Arnold's saying we don't believe he's guilty of anything, and we've heard a number of things, especially from his partner, why on earth would they get rid of him? And there's some of that there as well. Anyway, they're the final thoughts from me. I know many of you want him gone. I did initially months ago. The last 4 to 5 weeks I've been thinking, no, maybe that isn't the right thing to do. And to be honest with you, after hearing Richard Arnold's statement today, or the snippets I've heard on Talksport, I've only heard snippets, I've not read it, I think, well, why on earth have they done that in the end? You know, why didn't they give themselves that year? Arnold come and tell us what he'd been told, let Greenwood face the cameras and tell us what he wanted to tell us, and then review things in 12 months' time. But that isn't the case. He's gone, and we move on. And there's nothing else I can add, I don't suppose.